Hi everyone, delonewolf here, moving some of my extra minerals to the Dixie for some quick cash. I'll show you why in a minute, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk a bit more about Retribution 1.1 and its feature, and the first one, which is awesome in my opinion. You can see it right here, it's the route shown in space. So these are actually all the stars all the stars and star systems that I have to travel to in order to reach the Dixie, and it's just incredibly well done. One thing that might be a bit confusing to some of the people looking for the feature is that it doesn't start at the Stargate, at your next Stargate, but it actually starts at the very first star you'll have to go to. So yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to find, but it looks just incredibly awesome. It really makes EVE Online feel a lot more connected. You know that all the systems are out there. In fact, if you think about the number of systems that are out in EVE Online, you can imagine that actually a large percentage of all these stars, especially the bright ones, are actually other systems in the game. You're just not going to need to travel to them in order to reach your destination. So yeah, that feature, it's such a small thing actually, but for the atmosphere, for the immersion of the game, it's really a huge step forward. So congrats on that, CCP, that's very well done. Next up, we're actually in patch 1.1.1 now. It was deployed during the last downtime, and I do want to talk quickly about some of the fixes that were in here, but it's pretty funny how some of the unintended problems pop up after a patch or an expansion. First of all, corporation applications which were sent before the deployment of Retribution 1.1 are not blocked any longer. So it turns out if you had applied before the patch that all these applications were blocked automatically. Next up, the Tech 3 ships will now be visible once again. These had just disappeared again, so it does look like the Tech 3 graphics are quite prone to bugs from time to time, because it's not the first time. They've been flying backwards in the past as well and stuff like that. I think you can often fix it with clearing the cage, but yeah, there are definitely some issues and they should be fixed now. For science and industry, the attack battle cruisers, so the tier 3 battle cruisers and the blockade runners, will once again be manufacturable from all the lines they're supposed to be manufactured from. So it turns out that Retribution 1.1 added a bug that didn't allow you to make these ships where you used to before the patch. That's now fixed. And finally, on the user interface, it's no longer possible to attempt to invite Dust 514 players to your fleet by dragging their portrait in an open fleet window. That only makes sense, but obviously people were going to try that, and now it's not possible anymore. I'm not sure what the result of that was if you tried it, but that's been hotfixed now in just one day. Next up, I do want to quickly touch on the EVE duels, which I'm gonna try and make it a series. And basically how I'm planning to go about organizing that for now. If you contact me in game, or if you leave your character name in the comments, I'll send you an email with my normal playing times when I should be available, and then we'll work out all the specifics from that email and try and set up the duel that way. Should all be in the Dixie. Really, it's a trade hub, so you can easily buy a couple ships and we can have some duels. Hopefully it will stay manageable. I can't say that in advance for sure. Obviously, if dozens of people start to contact me for duels, it's going to be a bit more hectic and I'll have to try and find another solution. But for now, I'm going to try and do it through EVE Mail once I get your character name and that you're interested in a duel with me. Next up, I'm heading for the Dixie. Just 3 more jumps to go after this. Because I bought a prophecy, which I think it's one of the battle cruisers that has changed the most in Retribution 1.1, and there are the lines. And I think it's looking really great for some wormhole exploration, which we do want to do. at some point. My brother's already prepared a cyclone for that, and I think I'm gonna go for a prophecy next, so that's why I want some extra money so I can buy a decent fitting for it. I'll have to think about what I want to do exactly, but with all the drones it can carry now, it seems very versatile, and then with missile damage, just sounds like a pretty awesome ship to take in a wormhole, to be honest, for a decent price. Next up, maybe a quick fun side note about patch 1.1. They enabled blockade runners, so the transport blockade runners, to use covered sinos, but it turns out that only one of them has 2 high slots, and that means that yeah, this is really a feature that's only useful for a single ship, because all the other ones, they might be able to fit a covered sino now, but they can't fit a cloak anymore if they do, so they can't really take advantage of what it means to have a covered sino fitted on your ship. So that's a pretty funny oversight from CCP, and it's been a bit of a topic on the forums. Pretty funny that yeah, they should really then change all the blockade runners to have 2 high slots, to be honest. Next up, maybe a quick rumor concerning the pirate factions. So what has sparked this is that the pirate noob ships, which were on CC, not sure if they're in the game at the moment, but there are some rumors that they'll make either those pirate factions joinable. I'm thinking maybe they could have some role to play in faction warfare in the future. But yeah, these are the rumors basically that are floating around in EVE Online at the moment, is that considering how they're adding pirate noob ships and how they've changed some of the wording of sovereignty to not only include the 4 empires but also the pirate factions, the rumors are that CCP is planning to do some stuff concerning the pirate factions, and that sounds pretty awesome. In my opinion, it would be cool if you could have pirate faction warfare related, and if they would have their own territories and stuff like that. Just make that a bit more engaging, and basically very small factions that you can still join and do your best for. Also would mesh well with the live events, obviously. If people could somehow show that they're really rooting for that faction or working for a pirate faction. So yep, in the meantime I'm coming up on the Dixie, where I have already bought the prophecy. I'm not gonna try and fit it in this video because I really need to think about what I want to do with it. But that's a quick state of retribution 1.1. Yeah, the show route in space to me is actually the one that's giving maybe the most impact, because it will affect every single player, and it just makes EVE feel so much more alive and connected. I think that's really a hit for patch 1.1. I'll have to check out the battlecruiser rebalancings, and definitely the ancillary armor repair. That's a module I have to check out, because I think it's got a lot of potential, especially because now it turns out that it will actually rep without the paste charges as well. So yeah, I'll have to work out all the details on that. That'll be for a later video. I'll quickly sell the minerals. They're estimated at 31 million. Let's see if they'll actually make that much. And as you can see, I have some Tristans ready for some duels. Let's sell this immediately. 21.5. Sell this immediately. That would put me at around 28. Sell this, put me at around just above 30 million. It's a bit less than what was aimed for, but still pretty good. Puts me at plenty. I also have 2 Plex. I might quickly mention that. I bought one for 509 million and one for 535. I think those are pretty good deals. We'll have to wait and see on that. And here is the prophecy that I plan to use for our next wormhole excursion. If we do that, it won't be boss related, so we'll be a bit more nomadic, trying to look for some sites to do, but less avoidance of PvP. You know, we'd be ready to risk those ships, especially if it's Tech 1 battlecruisers. But yeah, 4 launchers. Obviously, I'll want a cloak in there. 4 mid slots, which is still pretty decent. Might be able to combine that with my brother and then with Arvales, so we can do all the exploration sites in there, maybe get a scram or something in there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 low slots, so you can either put an incredible tank in there or also add some drone damage, which is of course 225 cubic meters. Is a really big drone bay, and if I'm not mistaken, the new prophecy can now have 75 bandwidth. That's actually even more than just 5 medium drones. I think you can do a combination of 2 heavy drones and 3 medium drones or something close to that. So yeah, prophecy, in my opinion, especially for a Galente pilot like myself, who is specialized in drones and in armor, looks like it's going to be an incredible ship. I'm going to have my fun trying to find a good wormhole fitting for that, and then hopefully we'll be able to get started on a second season of the Wormhole Diaries as well. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna check out that mail that's been popping up here for a bit, and I'll see you all next time.